Hi, this is Louis Lamas, and on behalf of Wave to Wave, we'd like to thank you for joining us today's webcast. Today we'll be introducing the W Metro family of modular mobile data centers. Specifically, we'll be looking at the W Metro Express, the W Metro Mono, and the W Metro Vault. We'll walk you through all three products and talk about our value proposition. Wave to Wave is providing you the next generation of modular and mobile data centers. The W Metro Express, the W Metro Mono, and the W Metro Vault. We'll talk specifically about the commonalities and what we think are the value propositions that you may want to consider when deploying a new IT footprint. Let's talk about the W Metro Express. It's a 24U enclosure, can be configured to meet NEMA 4 compliance. Standard base unit is at NEMA 12. It provides you with 2.5 kilowatts of IT load through its onboard air conditioning unit, which is 8,000 BTU. It is self-propelled, meaning it can go through any standard door, up any handicap ramp, and through any elevator. You do not require a freight elevator. You can take this in a standard elevator without any problem. It also provides you with a patch panel that is fully configurable to meet your requirements. This particular unit comes with an option for a second AC unit, either as a redundant unit or to give you more IT load. The base unit provides you 2.5 kilowatts. With a second AC, it provides you with 6 kilowatts of IT load. A pretty compelling solution that can be deployable and that is mobile. The W Metro Mono is a 42U enclosure. It is NEMA 4 rated. It has a 42,000 BTU air conditioning system. It is mobile, but not self-propelled. The mobility comes in the form of using a pallet jack to move this unit around. It is slightly under 7 feet tall. It provides you with 12 kilowatts of IT load, and again allows you the ability to expand and to consolidate your current racks in your data center should you need to do so. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. Remember, we talked about 12 kilowatts of IT load in this particular unit. The W Metro Vault is a 22U device. It's a hardened enclosure, armor plated, and is really meant for high density computing application where mobility and shielding and really environmental protection, disaster tolerance are priorities. All three of these units come with the capability of being NEMA 4 compliant. They're all designed to meet Zone 4 seismic conditions. They all have the option of active fire suppression, and they all have the option of providing you with encryption keys or cyber locks that provides you the level of security required to protect your data and to have an audible trail of who's been accessing your equipment. So what we'd ask you to do is please consider the possibility of addressing all your biggest data center concerns by embracing our W Metro IT strategy. In short, what we're saying is we now provide you with the ability to deploy application-specific IT infrastructure, whether it's a high-density IT closet, high-performance computing, cloud computing, disaster recovery, a data center retrofit. All you need to remember is that we're vendor and solution neutral. We provide you with the infrastructure. We are the data center. All you need to do is apply power and networking capability. Our value proposition can best be described or illustrated in this slide here. As many of you know, a traditional data center, the ones that are built, have been built since 2001 and prior to 2001, which is 87% of them today, basically are not very efficient. In short, about 75% of the cooling used in data centers that have been out there for quite some time waste about 75% cooling that is used to actually cool the equipment. Our equipment is closed looped, meaning that the actual cooling is applied directly to the equipment. So the way we describe the traditional data center environment is one of basically taking all your perishable items out of the fridge, putting it on your counter, closing all your windows and doors, and then cranking your air conditioner up to 40 degrees in order to maintain the viability of your food products, right? So they won't perish. Well, that's kind of the technology and the approach that we've taken at data centers. Again, no reflection that data centers are a bad alternative. It's just not a most efficient way of cooling your equipment. Since ours are self-contained, self-enclosed, 95% of the actual cooling applied to our equipment is actually used, meaning only 5% of the cooling is actually wasted. It is closed loop, and we'll show on the next slide what that means. This is a patented technology. So our closed loop cooling can best be illustrated in this particular slide. On the left-hand side, you see the AC unit and the actual coils of the AC unit. What it does is it basically forces cold air down the bottom of the unit and up the face of the unit and across the equipment. As the cool air crosses the equipment, it becomes hot. That hot air then is applied to the cooling coils. The cooling coils cool them down, and then once again recycle through that exact circular process again. So it's one continuous loop continuing to go on. Inside air and outside air never mix. We talked about our products being either NEMA 12 compliant or NEMA 4 compliant, meaning that they're dustproof, waterproof, and capable of making sure that everything in your equipment is totally sealed up, protected from the elements. The AC unit on the left-hand side is cooled by ambient air coming from the bottom and going across the cooling coils to cool down. Again, very simple process, but it is a patented process and a very efficient way to cool your equipment and thus minimize the amount of wasted air used to cool effectively empty space. The Metro Express features that we show on this slide here illustrate the patch panel that can be configured to meet your requirement. In this particular example, you may want to change the patch panel to have all fiber channel connectors or half fiber channel connectors with RJ45 connector and maybe a USB connector. Those are your options. They're fully configurable. The thermostat that you see on this slide allows you to adjust the temperature of the equipment inside. As an example, you've set the temperature at 80 degrees. Your equipment is running at a comfortable 80 degrees. All of a sudden, it becomes hot in there because your utilization has increased. Utilizations cause more heat. Heat rises above the 80 degree threshold. At that time, the air conditioner will kick in, bring the temperature back down to an 80 degree or less stabilization, and then it'll back off the actual power requirements to cool the equipment. So it's self-monitoring. We also provide a push-button mobility. We talked about the fact that it's got a self-propulsion system in it. The little red toggle switches on each side of that example at the bottom shows you how you move the equipment. To move the equipment forward, you toggle forward. To move it backwards, you toggle backwards. As simple as that. We also provide cyber locker encryption security capability. At the top of that push-button mobility console, there's a silver key holder that we'll go into more detail in a future slide, but that's how you basically apply the cyber lock and encryption capability to both the mobilization as well as to the access to the equipment on the side door and the front door. This example shows you the dual AC version of our W Metro Express. Again, we talked about the fact that our base unit model, the one on the left, provides you with 2.5 kilowatts of IT load. With the additional unit, it provides you with 6 kilowatts of IT load. It meets two applications right off the get-go. First of all, you may have a situation where 2.5 kilowatts is enough to meet your requirements. However, you like the idea of having a redundant AC unit in there in case the first one fails. Thus, you have a rollover capability of being able to have a second AC unit. In some cases, you may have an application that requires 4.5 kilowatts of IT load. Thus, the base unit that only provides you 2.5 wouldn't meet that requirement. By adding the additional unit, you get 6 kilowatts of IT load, and you have the ability for further growth. The Metro Wano in this example shows the side view as well as the front view. What we're trying to depict here is the ability and the ease of being able to slide the AC unit, which is on the left, back away from the main storage unit and networking unit. And it allows for you to have easy access to work on the AC unit or to actually step on the footpad that's in between the AC unit and the cabinet and be able to have a IT technician do his work or maintenance behind that unit. As you can tell, it's 30 inches wide with the sidecar and the main storage area.